Hello, fight fans. Seattle Mike. Hey, I am excited about this card today, guys. Curtis Blaydes versus Derrick Lewis. But this main card, it's got some hitters on it for those of you that don't know. And I'm going to do a real quick breakdown of who I think will win each one of these fights and why. This is going to be shorter than usual, but hopefully give you guys a little bit of information and my picks. That way I can get a little nap before this starts and I can start streaming for you guys when this thing starts at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. So that's the reason for the quick picks. Andrei Arlovski versus Tom Aspinall. Andrei Arlovski, he's shown that he can survive lately as he's been getting older, taking less shots, being a little more defensive. He is still very chinny. Tom Aspinall, almost a 3-1 favorite coming into this. I think Andrei Arlovski's luck wears out. Aspinall has finished every single one of his opponents, the last 5 of them in the first round. I think Tom Aspinall is going to knock out Andrei Arlovski. Next match, Phil Haas versus Nasorin Imanov. Close odds on this one. Phil Haas, a bit of a favorite. Just a plus 125. So this one's pretty close to even. Phil Haas, though, he's got better experience. He also has a tremendous knockout ratio right now. He's also finished every single one of his wins. I believe 10 wins, 8 knockouts, 2 submissions. So, another stud right there. And I think we're going to see some finishes here. I'm going to take Phil Haas, and I think he finishes it within the amount of time. Alexei Oleinik versus Chris Daukaus. This is a tough one because Alexei Oleinik, he has so many wins and he has so many things that he can do. But the biggest number that I look at coming into this is Phil Daukaus is 31 years old. Alexei Oleinik is 43. And when he's gotten hit recently, it hasn't gone so well for him. He got demolished by Overeem, and I'm not saying Chris Daukaus is Overeem, but Chris Daukaus, he has been submitted once. It was back in 2015. Daukaus, he's faced some submission guys since then, not really been in trouble. As long as, his sub defense is solid, I think Chris Daukaus gets this, and I think he also finishes it. I think he gets the knockout within regulation. Charles Rosa versus Derek Minor. This one was a tough one to call. Both of these guys have pretty good records. Both of them have a lot of finishes. Rosa, 4-4 in the UFC. And his opponent, Minor, 1-1 in the UFC. 8 fights in the UFC, everything else fairly similar. I'm going to go with strength of opponent. I didn't do a whole lot of research on these guys, but I'm going to go with strength of opponent. My pick is Charles Rosa for this one. Caitlyn Vieira versus Yana Kuniskaya. I love Kuniskaya as a personality. She seems like a really nice person. It also kind of seems like she gets a lot of spotlight because of her Instagram and because she's a good-looking lady and things like that. And I'm not saying that can't happen for guys, too, that it can't give them a little notch up. I think it's a little more with the women because a lot of us guys were kind of sexist. Caitlyn Vieira misses violence. I mean, this lady, she brings it. She has a high intensity. Yana Kuniskaya, she had a few impressive performances over there in Invicta before she came over and was like a last minute desperation replacement to fight Chris Cyborg. She has not shown me anything in the UFC. I agree with the odds. If anything, Caitlyn should probably be a higher favorite. I'm going with Caitlyn Vieira to finish this in the third round. Now, Curtis Blaydes and Derrick Lewis. We all know, or a lot of us probably think we know, how this fight is going to end. And you guys could tell me, a few of you are going to have different answers. But, I mean, Derrick Lewis, the striker, Curtis Blaydes, the grappler. Seems pretty cut and dry, right? Curtis Blaydes about a 4.5 to 1 favorite coming into this. Derrick Lewis called out Curtis Blaydes. He wanted this fight. They asked him who he wanted next. He says, I want Curtis Blaydes. He says, I'm going to start taking my training more seriously. He had admitted he had been training like a couple times a week. And Curtis Blaydes, by the way, during an interview this week on Helwani in D.C., did about as much trash talking as Blaydes ever does. He just said, I don't think Derrick Lewis wants this as much as the guys that are in that championship echelon. He goes, I don't think he works as hard as the guys in my camp. He says, I don't think he works as hard as me. He says, I just don't think the guy puts in the reps. Derrick Lewis said this time, pretty much word for word, I'm going to put in the reps. I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to work on my wrestling. I'm going to be a I'm going to be a better Derrick Lewis. The cardio is going to be spot on. The wrestling's going to be better. You need time for these things. Curtis Blaydes wrestled all the way through high school and college. This guy wrestled for 8 years before he came into the UFC. There is no way that Derrick Lewis can cover that gap in that short amount of time. Curtis Blaydes has so much muscle memory when it comes to wrestling. And if Curtis Blaydes was going to come in there and stand and bang with Derrick Lewis, I would give him a great shot. Derrick Lewis, he's got more power. He's probably a better striker, although Curtis Blaydes has gotten much better in the striking game. Never really been, horrible at striking, just likes to wrestle. And Curtis Blaydes, when he was asked, he says, I don't care if Dana White himself asked me. He goes, it would be stupid for me to stand and bang against such a weak wrestler. So what we all thought we knew coming into this fight, probably pretty safe with it. I'm going to go with Curtis Blaydes to grind it out. And I think he wears Derrick Lewis down, possibly gets a late finish, like 5th round finish. Blaydes, he has to be careful with Lewis, though. Somehow Lewis, even when his cardio has just been trash by his own words. This guy, his power literally carries through to the last seconds of a fight. Ask Alexander Volkov. The guy was beating him the entire fight. Derrick Lewis, 10 seconds left in the fight. I'm going to knock you out now. This is over. And he did it. So Curtis Blaydes, he can't let up. He's got to be relentless. But if there is anybody in heavyweight that can stick to a game plan, is relentless, and can go 25 minutes without becoming careless, it's Curtis Blaydes. So for that reason, I do have Curtis Blaydes as my winner. There are my winners, guys. Tom Aspinall, Phil Haas, Charles Rosa, Caitlyn Vieira, and Curtis Blaydes. If you guys think anything differently, you're wrong. You should probably go out right now and bet any money that you have on all of these picks. Maybe take out some loans because you're going to be rich. No, actually, don't bet on anything I tell you to. I am not certified, qualified to give out betting advice. This is not betting advice. If you end up winning on it, let me know. That would be awesome. But I just hope it's a good card, guys. I cannot wait to see you guys later for a live fight companion. I've been doing all this practice all week, putting up videos you guys seen from Cage Rage, probably from other organizations. We got that whole list of free Valley Tudo videos out there now too. Got that new Stipe fight up there. Got a Derrick Lewis fight up there. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out on the channel. But I will catch you all later, guys. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses next time.